A bottle of water that costs a few cents to produce sells for $3 at a gas station counter. The same bottle sits 2 aisles away in a supermarket for a fraction of the price. Nobody complains. Nobody walks out. Most people just pay it and drive off. That single moment says more about how businesses make money than almost anything else you'll see this month. Here's what almost nobody realizes. The gas itself is barely making the store any money at all. In a lot of cases, fuel margins are razor thin, sometimes just a few cents per gallon after taxes, credit card fees, and delivery costs eat into the price. If gas stations relied on fuel alone, most of them would be losing money the moment you drive away. So why do they still exist on nearly every corner, in every city in the world? Because the fuel was never the real business. The fuel is the bait. Think about what actually happens when you pull in to fill up. You're standing there for 2, 3, sometimes 5 minutes with nothing to do. Your brain, bored and slightly restless, starts looking for something to occupy it. That's not an accident. That's the exact window gas stations are designed around. The pump becomes a waiting room, and the store next to it becomes the real product. Walk inside and notice what's near the door. Chips, candy, cold drinks, not milk, not bread, not anything you actually came in to buy. The layout isn't random. It's built the same way a casino floor is built, to slow you down and put temptation directly in your path before you reach what you originally wanted. This is where consumer psychology quietly takes over. When you're tired, in a hurry, or just killing time, your brain shifts from careful decision-making into what researchers call low-effort thinking. You're not comparing prices. You're not asking whether the sandwich is a good deal. You're reacting to hunger, thirst, or boredom in the moment, and convenience stores are built entirely around exploiting that moment. Consider the price of a candy bar. At a supermarket, it might cost $1. At the gas station, the same bar can cost close to double, and yet people buy it anyway. Because in that moment, price isn't the question running through their head. The question is simply, I want this now. That single shift from evaluating value to chasing immediate satisfaction is worth more to these businesses than almost any marketing campaign could ever be. This is the same principle movie theaters use when they charge far more for popcorn than for the movie ticket itself. The ticket gets you in the door. The snack is where the real profit lives. Airlines do something similar with baggage fees and onboard food. The advertised price gets you to commit, and the smaller purchases after that commitment are where the actual money is made. Gas stations simply apply this at a scale most people never stop to notice because it happens in 5-minute visits dozens of times a year without ever feeling like a big financial decision. There's another layer hiding underneath all of this. Captive convenience. Once you're standing at a rural gas station at midnight, or the only store within 20 minutes, you're not really comparing prices anymore. You need water. You need a snack. You need your phone charger, and there's nowhere else to get it. That scarcity of choice is quietly built into the location strategy of these stores. They aren't just selling snacks. They're selling the absence of alternatives. This is where the psychological trick deepens even further. Humans tend to underestimate small, repeated costs, while overestimating large, one-time costs. Paying an extra $2 for a drink doesn't register as a real financial decision. It feels too small to matter. But multiply that decision by every stop, every week, every year, and you start to see how billions of dollars in profit are quietly built from purchases that never felt significant in the moment. And this reveals something bigger than gas stations. It reveals how modern businesses have learned that the biggest profits often don't come from the product people think they're buying. They come from the small, emotional, impulsive purchases surrounding it. The fuel gets you in the door. The convenience store gets your money. The mortgage rate isn't where the bank profits most, it's the fees. The flight ticket isn't where airlines profit most, it's the extras. The pattern repeats everywhere once you know how to see it. So the next time you're standing at a gas pump, watching the numbers climb, and you wander inside just to look around, notice what's happening. You're not making a shopping decision. You're stepping into an environment engineered around boredom, urgency, and the small gaps in human attention. The real product was never the gas. It was you, waiting. If this changed the way you see something as ordinary as a gas station, imagine how many other everyday businesses are quietly built the same way. What's one purchase you've made recently that you now realize wasn't really about the product at all? Let me know in the comments.